Happy New Year to both of y'all. Peace and love. My name is Detroit Red. Let me start off with that.
Detroit Red?
And, yes.
Oh, like Malcolm.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
sir.
all right. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm a comedian.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a comedian, and I wanted to bring the name back with a positive twist.
Okay. Caller, do you want to repeat your question again, or do you have it, Doc? You ready for it?
Yes, yes. And again, thank you, Dr. Umar, for taking my question.
No problem, Baba.
Over the years, I've listened to the knowledge, and like I said, I agree with a lot of things you said. Some things I've disagreed with.
Mm-hmm.
But as a Mulatto American, when it comes to the subject of descendants of mixed parents and mixed parents, where does a mulatto brother like myself, who's very high yellow, it could be mistaken for white, fit into the Pan-African ideal and plan? Because I've heard you make statements that you really don't have a lot of respect for the consummation or not consummation, I may use the wrong word, or for parents that have a mixed child.
Okay.
Caucasian and black.
Okay, hold on. Let Dr.
interview where I saw that initial topic come up.
Let Dr.
And it made me ask what your true feelings was when it comes to the mulatto portion of Black America. Where do we fit in if we want to be down for the cause? If we really want to be in the trenches or be in this Pan-African or Africa world and new structure that you are trying to put forth?
All right. May I respond?
Yes, sir.
Firstly, I would urge you to reconsider your identification as a Mulatto American. I don't think that any African should be identifying themselves with two derogatory words. A mulatto is a mixed-bred dog. You are not an animal. An American is the most racist white man who has ever existed, one who has been known to steal, rob, kill, and do whatever is necessary to acquire power and subjugate others. We definitely don't need to be using two derogatory terms to define ourselves. Now, with regard to the role of biracial Africans in the Pan-African struggle, my position is no different than that of the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and all of the other fathers of revolutionary Pan-African nationalism. And that is, we believe that the product of an interracial union is an African just like the rest of us. We do not put them in a separate box, a separate group. I have friends who are biracial. I've dated women who are biracial. Some of the grandfathers of Pan-Africanism were biracial. The first black man to get a college degree in this country. He was also the first black man to start a newspaper in this country, Freedom's Journal. That was created by John Brown Russworm from Jamaica before Garvey. He was biracial. There's been several biracial Pan-Africanist leaders, so I don't have an issue with brothers and sisters who come from a mixed-race union. I have an issue with the mixed-race union, but I don't have an issue with the product of that because none of us are responsible for how we got here. As long as they're willing to identify as being African, as long as they're not looking for special privilege because of their European ancestry or mixed-race complexion, I have absolutely no problem with our mixed-race brothers and sisters. We're trying to unify black folks. We're trying to unify black folks, whether they be octoroon, quadroon, mulatto, biracial, 100% black. We want to blend all members of our race, no matter how diluted their DNA may be. We want to remake ourselves into the healthy, original people that God intended us to be.
So Doctor, can I ask you this then? In saying that, how do I address my European lineage? Because even though I walk as a black man, I claim black all day long, but I still do have European descent and lineage. So how do I acceptingly claim to be African and then denounce my European? Would that not be me denouncing a portion of who I truly am in essence in order to support the cause and the race that I truly believe in? Do I have to do that? That's what I'm asking, basically.
No, sir. First of all,
claim African, do I have to denounce my European?
The African DNA is the predominant DNA on the planet. Anything we mix with becomes us. There's no one half black and half white. You may have had a white parent and a black parent, but the DNA, the strength of the genetic material coming from the African parent supersedes, dominates, and takes over the DNA coming from the non-African parent. So when those DNAs mix, you're producing an African child, just as if you take a half a cup of vanilla milk and a half a cup of chocolate milk and you mix them together, you no longer have vanilla milk at all. You can see some strain.
In my picture,
you
see that I'm still looking like
right, but
vanilla milk.
Let me finish.
Okay.
No white person is going to mistake you as a white person.
Not true. I have physical evidence of that.
Okay. Well, let me say this to you. It sounds like you have an identity complex that you might need to work through. I hear you saying you identify with being black, but at the same time, you seem to also want to identify with your whiteness, which is fine. But what I tell biracial African folks, genetically you're African, okay? Politically, you're an African. Socially, you're going to be an African. Spiritually, you're an African. Now, the white side of your family, you can still, you can still engage with them. You can still identify with them. They are your family. They are your relatives. I do not believe you have to denounce them. You just have to make sure they are clear that you are an African with some white ancestry. I have some white ancestry. Okay, I have some Native American ancestry, but I know that I am an African. That is what I identify as. And the problem with us as a people, because we have been so oppressed and so psychologically confused that whenever we find another strain of DNA within us, we want to claim it as much as our Africanity. And that's why the confusion comes in. White people got black ancestors. They're not running around trying to be African. Okay? Chinese people got black ancestors. They're not running around trying to be African. But whenever the African has a little Chinese, whenever the African has a little white man, he wants to claim that as much as his blackness because he doesn't have pride in his primary race.
Or they want to claim it more.
So I don't have a problem with you claiming your Europeanism within yourself. But politically and socially, you have to recognize and genetically that you are an African, no different than the rest of us. You just happen to have a white parent.
And white skin to go, unfortunately, with it. Because I have to say, my brothers and sisters are not always the most receptive by the deceiving look of my complexion. And when I say this, you can look me up on Facebook and look at a picture. You'll see exactly what I'm saying, which doesn't cause me to have an identity crisis because I've grown up with this my entire life. I know where I stand. But in that, and you being a person of giving knowledge, and like I said, I read some of your knowledge and some of it I don't. I wanted to see what your opinion truly was because I've even heard you get a little upset. And when it comes to a lighter-skinned individual...
No, sir.
I'm going to deal with Papa Smurf. I'm going to deal with that little dirty nigga. I heard you, albino. Now you want it with the prince, nigga? You the general? Well, I'm the prince, nigga. The general answers to the prince. I call the fucking shots. You dirty midget. Fucking albino nigga. Your problem is you got an inferiority complex. Don't blame me for that shit. I'm not the reason you look like a fucking cracker, nigga. Dr. Umar ain't the reason you look like a fucking cracker. Talking that shit, Mighty Mouse. You think I ain't studied your little nut ass nigga? Think I ain't studied you? Every time you look in the mirror, you see a cracker, nigga. Every time you look in the mirror, you see a cracker, nigga. So you got to go extra hard because you trying to prove to yourself that you a black man. I ain't got that problem. I'm melanated, bitch. I'm melanated, bitch. When I look in the mirror, I see a black man. When you look in the mirror, you see a cracker, nigga.
No, you have not. No, you have not. No, not me. You've never heard me. I don't have issues with complexions. I do not do that. Pan-Africanism, I don't care if you're super yellow, light, bright. My grandmother, okay, probably looks phenotypically like yourself in terms of the way you're describing. I have very light-skinned people, in my family, green eyes and hazel eyes and all that. That is very dominant on my father's side of the tree. So I've never had an issue with complexions because I grew up all around them. I'm not a black skin supremacist or a light skin supremacist. I just want all black people to identify with their Africanity. If we would embrace our Africanity, the skin tone wouldn't matter. Only reason why the skin tone is mattering is because we don't want to embrace our Africanity.
And let me say this, Ho Chi Minh, who led Vietnam to getting imperialism and colonialism and France and the United States off their back. Ho Chi Minh was a Garveyite.
That's right.
And Ho Chi Minh, among like Kwame Nkrumah and others, said the philosophy and opinions of the Honorable Marcus Garvey influenced them. And so I agree with Dr. Umar. I got white folks in my family. I meet with white people. Y'all see Mike Duggan here once. We deal with white people. It's not about being evil to them, but